So the ex is trying to force me to move 12 hours away. But here's the thing, her own 16-year-old son chose to leave her. He filed in court to see her less. And my mom, she actually sided with the ex. Wait, what? Yeah. The kid's moving in with me and my fiancé, his mom is losing it, and my own mother thinks I'm the problem. This gets weird fast. Okay, so let me back up a little. The op, she's 42. Lost her husband in a motorcycle accident about 6 years ago. Rough, right? And then, about a year after that, she met someone through a work partnership. He's also 42. And honestly, he's been amazing. The only catch, and it's kind of a big one, they live 12 hours apart. Like if she drove. But they both live near airports, so they take short commuter flights, see each other at least once a month, text constantly. It's been working, but here's where it gets messy. The fiancé has a son from a previous relationship. He's 16. And the ex, let's call her Judy, she's, how do I put this nicely? Bitter. Like really bitter. They broke up when the kid was 9, but Judy never got over it. The few times Op met her, unpleasant, hostile. At one point, Judy tried to harass Op on social media, telling her to step aside so the parents could get back together. Said the fiancé would never marry her, just like he never married Judy. Yikes. So when Op and her fiancé got engaged last year, yeah, Judy lost it. She actually tried to get full custody of their son. I mean, think about that, full custody just out of spite. But here's the thing, it completely backfired. Because the son, he didn't want to live with her. He filed with his guardian ad litem to have her custody reduced, and the court granted it. A 16-year-old asked for less time with his mom. That tells you everything, right? Since then, the kid only visits her for a few hours, one Saturday a month. That's it. And if she brings up his dad, he leaves. If she tries to guilt him on the phone, he hangs up. He's required to answer her calls, but nobody said he had to stay on the line. Cold, maybe. But you gotta wonder what went down for a teenager to be that done with his own mother. Op mostly stays out of all of it, which honestly seems smart. She just tries to be supportive, shows love. But the drama, it follows her anyway. All right, so fast forward. The fiancé finally got a transfer he'd been waiting for like years in the making. And the plan was for him to move in with Op. But here's the thing. He didn't just decide for his son. He actually gave the kid options. Stay with his mom, stay with his aunt so he could finish school with his friends, or move 12 hours away with them. And the son, this 16-year-old, chose to move. Why? Because there's a really good STEM school where Op lives. Like one of the best in the country, and this kid is super into programming, already knows 4 languages. So yeah, he was all in, but hold on. The ex, she tried to fight the move, accused the fiancé of alienating the son against her. Classic move, right? But the fiancé had documented everything, every encouragement, every attempt to help the kid have a relationship with his mom. And the judge signed off, said the move was fine. You'd think that would be the end of it. Nope. Because then the ex started harassing Op again, messages from different social media accounts, saying Op ruined her family, saying if Op really loved the stepson, she'd move closer so they could co-parent. And here's the weird part. Op complained to her own mom, and her mom sided with the ex. I'm serious. Her mom said the ex has every right to be upset because her son is moving away. Then her mom suggested, get this, that Op should consider a temporary living situation closer to them, to not disrupt the stepson's routine, to help the fiancé repair his relationship with the ex. Wait, what? Op has never wanted to move. She was born and raised in her town. She loves it. She owns her home. She doesn't want to give any of that up. And honestly, why would she? The son chose to leave. The court approved it. The ex has been harassing her for years. But still, her own mom is making her feel guilty. So Op has to ask, am I the a-hole for not moving closer to them? I mean, what would you do? So what did the community say? Pretty much unanimously, not the a-hole. Like, zero doubt. The son doesn't even want to see his mom. He filed for less custody himself. The fiancé has receipts for everything. And people told Op she should get a restraining order against the ex. Solid advice, right? Then came the update. And okay, this part got a little heavy. The ex received a cease and desist letter from the fiancé's lawyer. She's only allowed to contact him through a co-parenting app now. And she's not allowed to contact Op at all, or a restraining order gets filed. Since that letter, silence. Finally. But then Op talked to her mom. And her mom finally admitted something. She doesn't really like the fiancé. She's thought for a long time that he was leading Op on. That's hard to hear. Here's the real backstory though. Op lost her husband in 2018, and she lost her dad within the same year. Two huge losses, back to back. Her mom never moved on from that time period. She refuses to get therapy, and she resents Op for moving forward. Op spent a year in intensive therapy herself. She's doing the work. But her mom, she's kind of stuck in the grief. And she told Op that moving on a year and a half after her husband died was too soon. I mean, everyone grieves differently, right? But here's the thing that got me. Op's late husband's parents, his mom and dad, they've been incredibly supportive. They've met the fiancé. They like him. They've met the stepson. They like him too. And no, it's not weird or creepy. They're not trying to replace their son. They just want Op to be happy. Her own mom can't do that, but her late husband's parents can. That's a lot. Op says her relationship with her mom hasn't been great for a few years, but she's still her mom. You can hear the hurt in her words. She's trying to be understanding, but she's also frustrated. And honestly, I get it. Okay, so here's some behind-the-scenes stuff that actually explains a lot. The fiancé's mom, let's call her Amelia, she's apparently wonderful. Loves Op, never liked the ex. Like strongly believes the ex was after money and got pregnant on purpose. I don't know if that's true, but it tells you how messy the history is. Now the son, Elijah. This kid is seriously impressive. He already knows 4 programming languages. 4, he's super into computer programming and building websites. And Op, she's a website user experience designer, so they bond over that. Kind of cool, right? The STEM school in Op's area, one of the best in the country. They don't usually take students mid-year, but they made an exception for Elijah. That's how good he is. That's the main reason he wanted to move. And here's the legal piece. The court has basically said Elijah is responsible enough to make his own decisions about where he lives. Not full emancipation, but close. He could even do that if his mom keeps causing trouble. The whole point was to stop the ex from weaponizing the court system. You know, screaming about parental alienation every time she doesn't get her way. I mean, smart move by the judge, honestly. One more thing, Op calls Elijah her stepson, even though she and the fiancé aren't married yet. They're getting married in June, but Elijah tells people she's his stepmom. He's happy for them, and Op has said if he wasn't on board, she wouldn't have felt comfortable taking the relationship this far. But here's the funny part. Elijah is so mature, like, almost too mature. His whole life revolves around computers and programming. No rebellion at all. And Op and the fiancé, they actually worry about his lack of rebellious spirit. Isn't that sweet? Most parents are begging their kids to stop acting out. These two are like, please cause a little trouble. Okay, so let's switch gears to a totally different kind of neighbor drama, but honestly, it's just as frustrating. There's this elderly neighbor in Southern California. Hillside homes, worth about $1 million each. They've always been friendly. No issues. Then one day she says she's putting up a fence because high school kids keep trespassing. Op says, go for it, just keep it on your property. Simple enough, right? Well, Op comes home from work one day, fence is already built. Done in a single day while Op wasn't there. No chance to stop it. And here's the problem. Op looks at it and realizes, wait, this thing is several feet to the south of the sewer grates, which means it's almost certainly on Op's property. Like not inches, feet. So Op flags the neighbor down the next day and politely says, hey, I think your contractor messed up. I'm going to get a survey done. If it's off by a few inches, whatever. But if it's several feet on my property, I'm going to ask you to move it. The neighbor's reaction, kind of shrugged it off, said she doesn't think it's placed wrong, then asked if Op would just live with it because moving it would be expensive. I mean, what? Op said no. Land is expensive in Southern California. Why should Op donate property because the neighbor didn't do a survey first? The community's take, not the a-hole. Not even close. People pointed out that this is actually a common tactic to grab extra land. And one commenter said in their area, you need a permit and line drawings for a fence. They were surprised any company would build without a survey. Now the update. OP got estimates from survey companies. We're talking $4,000 to $5,000. Yeah, not cheap. But OP also talked to a real estate attorney who said this is very straightforward, especially if it's caught early. In his experience, it rarely goes to court. You just show them the survey and say, move it. But here's the kicker. The attorney also pointed out there are no utility markings, and the sewer manhole is now fenced into the neighbor's yard. That might be illegal because the city needs access for servicing. So yeah, not just a property line issue anymore. All right, let's end on a fun one, because after all that drama, we need a laugh. So there's this ski instructor at a small mountain in Pennsylvania, weekends only, and the pay, minimum wage for group lessons, but private lessons, 8 times more. Huge difference, right? Some instructors handed out business cards so people would remember them and request private lessons. But this guy was too cheap for that. So he bought a surplus leather bomber cap, old school, and it worked like a charm. People would literally ask for the guy with the bomber hat. Plus, it made students smile. But then the ski school director said it was unprofessional, told him to wear ski-specific gear only. I mean, okay, so what does the instructor do? He goes to the local ski shop and buys the ugliest hat he can find. Neon green, tiger stripes, clashed horribly with the uniform. It was glorious. And guess what? Students still asked for him based on the hat. The director saw it, probably realized he'd just make it worse and gave up. Didn't say another word. Sometimes you just have to fight nonsense with nonsense. Right. Hey, if you made it this far, you probably like these kinds of stories. I've got a couple more for you right here, maybe save them for later. And hey, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. No pressure, just helps me keep doing this. Thanks for hanging out. Seriously.